National Center for Housing Management is a unique organization with a unique pedigree. We're the only organization of our kind that was created by executive order of the President of the United States in 1972. Interestingly, HUD also played a great role in our creation. So you had basically the executive branch of government, and you had the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development saying, wow, we've got all this affordable housing right now, and it's different housing. There are different needs amongst the residents. And how are we going to build a workforce capable of managing these developments efficiently and effectively? And how do we incorporate property management really with social services, which is what many of these communities need? And that's why we were created.
The importance of the site manager is incredible. It holds the property together. If you have a good site manager, you will have a property that will run well.
Single-handedly, the site manager takes on so many different roles because the site manager is like the parent of the property.
Site managers have such an amazing and unique opportunity to affect positive change in the quality of life of so many people.
I feel like the importance of being a site manager is about making a difference in people's lives. The rent that they pay is probably one of the largest things that they have in their budget, and whether we do our jobs as a site manager right or not can make or break that person's budget.
I have known so many fantastic site managers that have really changed the lives of their residents.
In my opinion, the role of the site manager is the most important role in the housing management, because that person stands between chaos and order. That person is out there on the properties where the rubber meets the road.
Site managers have the second hardest job in the country short of air traffic control.
The difficulties of a site manager, if the site manager is a good site manager, sometimes in keeping your heart completely separated from the business aspect of it.
There is a lot of bureaucracy to deal with.
We are expected to turn on a dime from one crisis to the next.
Being empathetic, yet still having to enforce the regulations, you know, there's a very fine line there, and knowing the balance and knowing where the boundaries are between being a manager and actually being a resident there if you have to be a resident yourself.
You have to know so much to be an effective property manager. You wear so many different hats. You are a counselor, a teacher, a student, a mother, a fireman, a plumber, among other things. It really takes a smart, savvy, multitask-oriented person to be an effective property manager.
We feel that the most important role in housing management is the role of the site manager. In order for that person to be effective, that person needs to be very competent. That person needs to be a good problem solver and a good decision maker. That person also needs to keep the property in compliance with HUD regulations, especially if it's public housing or Section 8 properties. And what we say is that because of the importance of that role, that person needs to attend as much training as possible.